Okay, we are going to look at the remote control, infrared remote control here. The wiring is very simple. Basically, we got a power and a ground. That's the red and the black going right here. And then we just have one input that we are calling pin 11, right? So it's pretty straightforward wiring. Again, just giving it a ground and a 5 volt, and then one to connect it to the thing. So if we come over here and look at the code, first thing you need to do is make sure you install the library for the IR remote. It's been a while since we've maybe done that. That's in the sketch, include library, add zip file, and go ahead and get that put in there. Okay. We set up the variable for the pin that we're using. The receiver pin is 11. We already talked about that. Um, this is part of the library, kind of calling up the IR receiver, right? Getting that kind of set up. Okay, and that's what these two things basically do. Okay, now this is a subroutine, a function that's actually what the bulk of what this program does. And what it does is it once it takes in the um, reading from the IR remote, okay, and it kind of goes through and decodes what's going on, and then it basically prints out basically what button you pushed. Okay, now notice that each button has a code that's mapped to it. So you've got all these buttons. How many are there? There's 20 buttons, something like that on here, 21 buttons on the remote. Okay, and each one is mapped to a certain case, a certain string of characters. Okay, that puts that out. So and basically all this is doing is it's printing down to the serial monitor what button gets pushed. Okay, so it's just kind of showing you, hey, when I push a button, it can do this. Now, of course, you can do it in such a way where the remote control, when it receives that button push, it can do something and do that in later ideas. So the whole idea is that's what this function does is it takes in what it's reading and then prints out, it kind of decodes it and translates it so we know exactly what's being and prints it out, right? Waits a second and then starts over. So that's again the subroutine. Now we go into our void setup. It's basically, hey, gets the receiver going, right? Sets the clock, kind of all that stuff. Nothing too big, just kind of gets us started. And then all the loop really is hey, am I reading something? Did I get a signal? If so, go run that translate IR. That's this this subroutine, this function that we wrote up here. So basically, if it gets a signal, the whole loop code is just if it gets a signal, what does it say, right? So if you see the signal, run this translate code, which again takes that and prints out exactly what it's saying to us, and then basically, reset everything and wait for the next signal. It's basically what the loop does. So um, I believe it's running right now. You can see down here in the serial monitor, if I push the button 1, okay, you see it pushes the 1. It prints out what code it gave. So if I do like volume down, oh, it doesn't have that one for whatever. Volume up, volume plus. We've got, what is that, fast forward, fast rewind, or fast back, I guess it calls it. You got pause, you've got the power button, right? And you can just push these different buttons and it prints it out for you. And that's basically what this code does. Again, it's just showing you how to map what the IR is receiving and printing it out.